welcome to the Angel and the Exorcist. My name is Paul Devlin and I'm the Exorcist in this project, and joining me
is Samantha Jayne, otherwise known as the Angel, here today.
Right, let's talk about today curses. Now, I have to hold my hands up to this one.
Right.
This may surprise a lot of people, but I don't actually know or have dealt with that much or that many types of curses. It kind of, it's quite a big subject, and it can be split into lots of different bits, but the actual bit we're going to talk about today, you'll have to enlighten me, because there's some of it that I'm a bit fuzzy on. So, so let's start. So curses, in your experience, what are they?
There's different levels, different bands, different descriptions, if you like, different types. You have the curse that someone puts onto somebody.
Yeah.
That would come under what I class that as dark arts.
Yeah.
Then we have curses which are actually more karmic.
Right, so by karmic you mean it's a generational thing that's come back?
Yeah, so we can be in our own, we've cursed ourselves through our own actions.
Okay, right, I understand that.
Or it can also be that you have a family curse, and that's what I deal a lot with, is family curse.
Yeah.
So I absolutely believe in them, and both types. However, with the dark arts one, you've got to have fear in you.
Yeah. For
it to be able to attach you. So that's why I'm always banging on high vibe, high vibe, high vibe, because then this very low entity level work can't impact you.
Got you.
Yeah? You have to be afraid for that to go on.
So so a curse is basically a fear-based entity, if you like.
In the dark arts.
In this side that we're talking about today, we're talking on a more karmic side.
Yeah.
For me, people have approached me before and say, I have a curse on my family.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
How is a curse placed on a family?
Yeah, through their own actions.
Right.
But it could be your grandfathers, your great-grandfathers.
Right, because
it's a karmic trail.
It's quite similar, because you'll get a demon that can go right back in families as well.
Yeah.
I remember when I was younger, I was probably about 8 years old, and talking about the fear side of it. I went to town with my mum, and there was this lady, and she was selling, they were like little flowers wrapped in silver.
Oh, Lucky Heather.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, Lucky Heather.
And she was like, buy this.
Across her palm, did you?
Something like that. I didn't. Because what she said when I was 8 years old, she said, if you don't buy this, you'll be cursed.
Yeah.
And as an 8-year-old boy, that really scared me.
Yeah.
I thought, what have I done wrong?
Which was her mission.
Yeah. So, and it worried me for weeks.
Yeah. But you're talking about very, very old school Romany. And, old school Romany women, the only way that they could have money, because they weren't allowed to work as such, it's a cultural thing, if you want to call it that, I think would be the right word, is by selling the Lucky Heather and doing, like me, tarot readings. Because you've got to remember, Romany women didn't read, didn't write.
Right, okay.
They were married at, and I think to a degree, I think they still are in some countries.
It's very young.
13, 14. Yeah. Very similar traits to very old Indian cultures as well.
Yeah.
But the women basically were for cleaning and cooking and having children.
That was their only form of income then?
Their only way to get money was that. So that's fear-based all round.
Yeah.
And then that fear is projected onto you as a child, which I don't condone at all.
No.
But it was the old way of being.
Survival.
People used to be frightened of that culture, that era.
What do you think it is that strikes fear into people when they hear the word curse? What do you think it projects to people?
I think it's you know, people think that they're doomed,
Right.
which to a degree they can be, but it can be fixed.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, especially if it was on the dark arts spectrum, then you seriously do need somebody to help you with that. You cannot fix that yourself. You
No.
don't want to go there. You'll just activate it and fire it up more. But I think it's just that fear, isn't it, of being out of control.
Yeah, absolutely. And I remember this in the work that we do. I always try and put myself in the people that come to us. I always try and put myself in their shoes. How do they feel? Because I remember how I felt. I mean, there have been other, you know, journeys in my life in supernatural, paranormal, whatever you want to call it, where I have been unsteady. I'm human.
Yeah.
But I always try and go back to that point as an 8-year-old boy. And that is the fear that a lot of people feel when they ask for help. The karmic curse, how do you sort that? Because to me, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, and it is. Yeah. For me personally, when people come to me, again, it's a healing.
Right.
To you know, and I do the karmic release therapy, where I also do hypnotherapies and all sorts, and all combined. But in terms of releasing a family curse, it is that you have to go into it energetically through all the generations and clear the links.
Right.
Yeah. Because what happens is, you know, if you're I don't know, if your grandfather stole property from somebody, your great-grandfather stole property that didn't belong, and the family were without a home back in that generation, we're talking way back. So they rendered another family homeless because they were richer and wealthier and able to take that.
Yeah.
Then how that will show up in the karmic trail is that people can't hold on to their own properties.
Right.
Or they're constantly letting go of, you know, losing properties or not being able to find a home, things like that. Does that make sense?
It does.
That's how it presents.
If somebody I don't know, robs a carriage, horse and carriage, 200 years ago.
Yeah.
Does that then impact on the lives of people 200 years later in that family? So would it impact the children of, you know, said great-great-great-grandfather who robbed that stagecoach?
It can do.
Wow.
Because, you know, whatever we do in this lifetime, we are creating a karmic trail.
Okay.
So therefore, whatever we walk through, our children will carry forwards.
Wow, that's incredible.
Whether it presents itself or not, like literally, it will, their ways of being,
Right.
their energy, what experiences they pull in, and they can be stuck, you know. So for example, if you have committed a murder, let's go extreme.
Okay.
If you've committed a murder, now I know you didn't take your 8-year-old son with you, or I hope not, to commit that murder.
Yeah.
But they are living under the sins of the father.
Right.
Say to the dad, the sins of the father, because they do have to live with the aftermath of that. I don't care what anyone says. Well, you know, it's all right you saying, oh, but you didn't do that. I remember having a pub in Weston-super-Mare, and a murderer's sister, them under a false identity, and witness protection, or whatever it's called, something like that.
Yeah.
You know, but even she had absolutely nothing to do with this estranged brother, but she had to be put in a witness in the programme and all the rest of it. But they still found her.
Yeah.
People still found her. People still set fire to her house and all this thing. It was one of the ones where all the bodies were under the 14 years of bodies under the floor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
West.
Yeah. That's the one. But so if you think of it like that, no matter what you think, your actions do impact the people ahead of you in the family tree.
That's quite a
that
hard
come
thing
after you.
Yeah, that's quite a hard thing to live with.
Yeah, so you have to think. So what the trick though is to therefore work with the children.
Right.
To clear it energetically and emotionally out of their being.
So if there weren't people in the world who are able to do this, and I imagine there aren't that many people,
Yeah.
Would that just carry on for eternity?
Yeah, and until the balance is right.
Okay.
Until the curse kind of lifts.
Okay.
Because it no longer serves purpose to hold this family chain back.
Right.
So, and the way that that would happen is by having to do greatness in this world.
Right, okay.
To pay the fine, if you like.
So the debt to society?
Yeah, to pay off the debt.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, you know, obviously if someone's murdered someone, you can't go, you can't go and, I'm not saying you have to go and create life and have lots of children to pay off the debt, but it's about doing good.
Right. So, I mean, my only experience of a family curse was a cottage, quite a big cottage, and everything was related to the grandfather, if I remember rightly.
Yeah.
And I remember going into the loft where all these things were happening, and it was just like the centre point. And I remember that the guy that was like my mentor when I first started out on this journey, I know you won't mind, the guy called David, he said to me, if you ever find yourself in a situation of a family curse, you approach the spiritual counsel.
So, just a thought, if I can just stop you there.
Yeah.
You use the term the spiritual counsel. Just for anyone watching, what is that?
Okay, so a spiritual counsel is pretty much what it says on the tin. So you have spirit that are obviously not in this world, they're on a higher plane, who have experience of earth energies, maybe 300, 400, maybe 1,000, 2,000 years ago, and they are selected to sit on a council. And it basically works like a court.
Right,
and
okay. So jury service, basically.
Yeah, basically. So they will go back and look at the evidence that you've given to them.
Right.
They will go through that evidence and either say yes or no. So it's basically it's a spiritual counsel like our court service.
Okay. Cool.
So yeah.
Okay.
And then if it's a yes, then it will be released. If it's a no, then fortunately on when I was doing it, it's been a yes. But you have something in plan, in backup in case they say no. But what happens if they say no? How does that?
Because I can only clear what is for the highest good.
Right, okay.
And that is for humanity.
Right.
So because we are all here for ascension, our generation came in to do the clearance work.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're like hoovers going around, quite frankly, clearing all the debris and crap that all the generations previous have done.
Yeah.
Where we're making amends and fixing up the mess. So therefore, when I go into that zone, I am asking for it to be cleared, any contracts to be cleared, broken, debts removed, because it's debts would be a better word than curse. It's a debt.
It's a debt.
And then I'm asking for all of that to be cleared for the highest good, so that the person in front of me on the couch can walk their highest path.
Right, okay.
So I'm releasing that person of the debt.
Okay, and once you've done that,
it ends. Because otherwise, because it's generational, our children will have it, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren, blah, blah, blah. It will never stop until it's broke.
Until it's broken.
Or it's rebalanced.
Right.
But it's very, very hard to rebalance something massive like that in one person's life in this world as it stands today.
Right.
We can't go and find that family and give them back the property that our great-great-grandfather stole from them.
Right. So a curse is an action, a negative action
Yeah.
taken by a family member.
Yeah.
It's not a spell that has been cast on somebody.
It's words. So, for example, you know, every word I say is a prayer, and it's a command into the law of attraction. It's a request, and everything is heard, everything is delivered.
Yeah.
We just don't particularly control when or how. That's why I always don't say careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
So, you know, if someone walks out of a relationship and says, I cursed you, I cursed the day I met you, I curse you, I will make sure you never love again, which is what's happened to me once.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still in connection to that person from a very distance. They are in that experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they cast it on themselves as well.
Yes. Yes, I
Yeah.
understand that.
And I've had to do work to remove that.
So if you remove it from
But if I didn't know that,
No, true, but if you remove it, do you remove it from the both of you, or just you as...
just me in that one.
Right, okay.
Because I send it back. When something is man-made,
Yes.
I send it back to where it came from.
So you send it back to source.
If it's between two living beings in this dimension, this reality,
Yeah.
I send it back to source. If it's a multi-generational thing,
Yeah.
then I send it out to the karmic gods.
Yeah. Wow.
And it's dissolved, it's... I do that because that's how I see it.
I get it. But do you...
I'm not losing it really.
With a curse, if somebody has a curse, or they feel there is a curse, what would be the things to look out for? In other words, the symptoms, or
Constantly blocked.
in what way blocked?
So, for example, if you're someone who is constantly having accidents, constantly breaking your leg,
Yeah.
constantly having, that's not normal.
No.
Because the body and the mind learn to protect itself, to not trip over the doorstep again.
Right.
You like a
interesting.
child. I mean, you know what it's like. Don't touch that, it's hot.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We all do it.
Yeah.
The child learns. Yeah? It's not normal to constantly go,
Keep doing it. Yeah.
yeah? Because they can't not hurt myself. Financials, constant financial money blocks can be because of things. If you have had someone in your family rob someone, take something that wasn't theirs.
Right.
Yeah, rob a bank. Don't know how many about that, but
Everybody's going to be going look at their family trees.
Look at the family tree. Yeah, you do, and do. I would say do. If you think that you are in a situation of being under family curse conditions,
Yeah.
look at your family history very honestly.
Right.
Yeah? What is the history of the family? I can see mine beautifully and I've stopped it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, you know, other people have their work to do. When I cleared a family karmic trail, I cleared it from me going forwards. So it eased off on the family members who are still alive and before me,
Yeah.
but they still have it to clear.
So it's in a way in a therapy situation.
Yeah.
If you've been in a situation in your mind and you go back to that situation, you then erase that negative thing that happened until you're happy with it,
Yeah,
and then you move on to the next thing. So it's
Layers. Yeah.
So it's kind of a form of like karmic therapy.
Yeah, which is why
Right.
that's what I call it. Ta-da! And then we have to reprogram, and also relationship issues.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm trying not to laugh.
I know. Yeah, that's a whole other series. But it sounds lovely. But it's you know, it is about you can see patterns.
Yeah.
You can see patterns.
So would people I mean, for you, because obviously this is more your thing from this side of it. If you are, I don't know, maybe walking down the street, could you pick up in people that that might be the block?
I can observe people, you know, the good old book of faces.
Yeah.
There will be people on there that have been on my stuff for years that I will watch them and think, oh, you need to come and see me.
But they've got to want it.
But they've got to want it. You know, when you watch people go through the same relationship loop for the last 3, 5, 10 years, and you think, oh, you need to come and see. But I can't say anything because they have to.
They have to want it. Yeah, they have to want it. Yeah.
So I often see that. But you know, just to differentiate, so a curse would be because of a negative act that someone in family has done. Yeah. Whereas karmic is the natural energy of your own acts and things. Does that make sense?
It does. It does. So my other question, I've got lots of questions.
That's all right.
If you are sort of best mates with somebody,
yeah,
and they have sort of a family or a curse at some point for their family, because they are good friends with you, would that bring that energy into that, affect that friendship between the two people?
It can do, and I have had to walk away from people in the past, but
Right.
that's more to do with their mindset, their vibration,
Right.
not sitting with mine.
Oh, right, okay.
That it becomes too abrasive, as I call it, energetically, to be around people who are very negative, or it's hard to watch, isn't it? People struggle.
It is hard to watch, yeah.
When people won't help themselves.
I think when people phone up, it is the most. I mean, I've done a lot of spirit rescues, same as you have. We've done between us probably over 1,000.
Yeah.
Over the years, but the amount of people that will phone up or contact either me or you, I don't know how you find it, and the first word they normally say, or a part of the conversation, is, I think we're cursed.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a comfort to them in a way? Because a curse can be, they know a curse can be removed.
Yeah.
You can kind of fight a curse.
No, I don't think it is that. I think sometimes people are, because we live in a blame society.
Yeah, okay.
I think that people say cursed as a way out of their own behaviour. For me, the difference in the wording is, a curse for me is, because a curse is passed down for me, family curse. Whereas man-made dark arts is a hex.
Yeah, hex and curse.
And I clear both. Yeah, very different, completely different way, but I clear both. But I think that people use the word curse as a way of not owning it.
Yeah, I understand that. But it is, I always go on about how something hits us and it affects us, has impact.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And curse impacts people.
Both counts word, yeah.
It's the word. It's a real harsh word. And when people say it, impact or trauma-wise, it does that.
Yeah.
And that is even just the way it's used will impact energy on people. And again, it's how you react to that. You know, this is just, we're giving out information. This is just information. Don't be affected by it. Don't let it affect you. We're educating you. Or actually, Sam's educating you. But I think that's a really important point to make. So people aren't affected by it.
Yeah. And curse is softer. A curse is softer than a hex. That's the difference between the two. A curse creeps up on you through your life.
Yeah.
Whereas a hex is what you're talking about.
It's bang. Yeah.
Overnight, bang. Illness, can't get out of bed.
Yeah.
All your money gone.
Yeah.
Da 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 da. Yeah. That's hex.
But yeah, so it's impact. What I'm saying to people watching this is, don't be impacted by the word, because it's just information.
And it's just a title for an experience.
Yeah. But thank you
Instead,
very
blame
much.
your granny.
Silver.
Blame your granny. It's her fault.
But thank you for explaining that.
No,
Because again,
no
I'm educated today, so that's brilliant. Thank you very much.
We like that.
That is all we've got time for on this episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell, and you will receive notifications of all our episodes.
See you in the next show.